Hey guys, you ever wonder how to clean your print head on an Epson 1430? Don't go anywhere. Right after this intro, we're gonna do that. Okay, so I went to print some positives, right, for a couple of shirts or some shirts that I gotta make, and my printer started printing all messed up, and this is what I got. As you can see, well, you hardly can see, but there's no yellow. There's a little bit of black. There's a little bit of cyan. There's no magenta and no yellow. I already said yellow. There's no blue. So that's a sign that your print head is really clogged, really bad. So as you can see, there's a little bit of text right here. This is the second test. As you can see, there's only black, but there's no text, and all the other colors are almost gone. So I'm going to show you how to do a really quick cleanup of your print head. Very, very simple. You don't need a solution. You don't need to buy any solution. This is just alcohol, and I'm pretty sure you've probably seen videos like this on YouTube already, but this is just alcohol and Windex. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 50-50 Windex and alcohol. In this case, I'm using 91%, and this is just a cheap alcohol. Got it at Walmart. Can't even see it, but camera is trying to track my face, so trust me, it's 91% alcohol, or 50-50 alcohol, 50-50 Windex. So what you're gonna do is just get a shop towel like this, or any towel. Just kind of fold it like so, and then get it wet with this solution. Not like super wet, but get it, get it wet. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on the printer, and then we're gonna move the print head over on top of it. Leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Bring it back and then do a nozzle check to see if all your print head is unclogged. If that doesn't work, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take another piece of towel, about a half, or you can use a whole towel, fold it like that. Again, do the same thing, move the print head over, and I'm gonna explain everything. I will show you how to do that in a little bit. Fold the towel like this. This time the towel is going to be completely dry, and you're going to need several pieces of towels, shop towels or napkins, whatever you want to use. You're going to put the print head over on top of it. Get one of the syringes and put a piece of pipe or a piece of hose. And this one right here, if you want to find this right here, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot. In the plumbing section, they sell this by sometimes they sell it by the yard, but most of the time they sell in little baggies. Just check your syringe and make sure it fits in there, because the syringe is actually the same size as the nozzle inside the print head, and you'll see it in a little bit. Not on the bottom, but on the top, you'll see how the print head has this type of nozzle, and that's what we're gonna connect this, and then we're gonna just pump solution through it. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to bring your printer into, like, whenever you're going to change the cartridges. I have a CIS system, so mine is going to look a little different than yours if you don't have a CIS system. So let's just wait for the printer to come into stop. Okay, so there you go. So we're going to take the CIS system. Again, this printer, I only use this printer for my positives, to print the positives. But when I printed this one, I don't know if you can see it. You might not be able to see it in video, but there's actually lines in it, and that's not a good positive. Another way that you can tell that if your print head is clogged, if you look at your lines, you're gonna see air in the lines. Like, for example, the yellow, there's like literally no ink. No ink on the light magenta and the actual magenta. So that's a good sign that your printer is clogged. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the shop towel and we're gonna set it in there. Let me see if I can get you to see it. Okay, so once you take your cartridges, or in this case your CIA system, set it aside, and then unplug your printer. Because see, as you can tell, mine's still on, so go ahead and unplug it. Don't turn the power off. Unplug the cable right now so you can still move the print head. As you can see, the print head, I cannot move it. I mean, you can force it, right, but you don't want to do that. Okay, so once you unplug the printer, then take your napkin or your shop rag or whatever you guys are using, and then just get it wet with this solution. Again, you don't need a lot. Just make sure that the entire towel, or again whatever it is you guys are using, make sure it's completely wet, and then just set it in there and move the print head over. If it's too thick, you know, just kind of work it in there, and make sure the print head is actually on top of the wet solution. If that doesn't work, once you let it sit in there for about 15 minutes, what you can do is get your syringe and then fill it up with the solution. Make sure you wear gloves. I usually don't wear gloves, but fill it up with the solution, like you see me doing here, and then you'll see those little nozzles right there sticking up. Make sure you don't force this in there, because if you force this in there, and I mean the this little pipe hose looking thing, if you force it, you can break one of those. So you don't want to break them, because if you break one of those, you're gonna have to get another print head, and then just put it on top of it and plug it in. See, right now it's in there. It was in there, but I took it out. Again, don't force them, because you'll break them, and then just pump some of the solution. Like for example, right now I'm getting a lot of resistance. That means that your head is like super clogged, and you'll see how it's gonna come out. See that? See that? Did you see how the solution came off? It's because the head is really clogged. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pump a little bit into the print head in each one of these nozzles, and I mean, I'm getting a lot of resistance, so that means that the head is really clogged. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pump a little bit in each one and let it sit for a good hour maybe. Again, do not force this, because you can break, and even if you break just one of them, and look, I'm actually pushing pretty hard, and it won't go in there, the solution. Okay, so we're gonna let it sit for a good 15 to 20 minutes, maybe an hour, so I can get the head, you know, unclogged. So I just come back in about, I want to say about an hour. Give it some time for the solution to work, and then we're gonna flush the whole thing out with more solution, like a lot of solution. We'll probably use the rest of this right here. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with using alcohol and Windex, then there's a solution that you can buy on Amazon or eBay. I will post a link in the description below if you would like to buy that solution. But again, you don't have to buy it, just use some regular Windex and alcohol. Okay, so 20 minutes had gone by. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start adding some solution. And you can probably see those little nozzles that I was talking about. That's how the printer gets ink in them. So again, you don't want to break one of those. You break one of those, that's it. Okay, so what I did is I replaced the towel on the bottom. Now, that one's a clean one, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit to try to get the solution in. And you can see how it's squirting out. We're going to go to the second one. And I'm still getting a lot of resistance. It's not, the fluid is not in there, it's not going in there easily. So we're gonna go on the third one. And if you can see the syringe, see how much I got in it? And I'm gonna pump about a quarter of the liquid that I have in there. So that's it, it's about a quarter. Then move over to the fourth one. I'm going to pick up some more solution. Go to the fifth one. And I know a lot of you are gonna be saying, why don't you just remove the printhead? Well, this is one way. This is if you don't want to remove, because to remove the printhead, you have to remove this card right here. And it's a pain in the neck to get it because the clips are behind it. And this is one way of doing it. This will be the, the lazy way of doing it. Dang, that one is really hard. So there you go. And then we'll do the number 6. So yeah, this is kind of like the lazy way of doing it. And I'm gonna pump the rest of the solution in that number 6. So I know the one that is really bad is this one right here, this first one, and that's yellow. The yellow one is really bad. That one stopped working a while ago. This one right here. So I think that was enough solution. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean some of the solution that was in there. Okay, so I left the towel in there to kind of soak up all the solution. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cotton swabs. And I'll leave a description or a link in the description so you can, if you guys want to pick up some of these swabs, then you can. That way you can just clean up the excess solution in there. Let's use another one, make sure it's nice and clean. Now if you guys are scared of your printer, you know, of you breaking your printer, please don't do this. I actually don't care if it breaks. Because to me, you know, the way I look at it, it's already clogged, it's not printing correctly. So to me, it's already broken. So that's why I don't care. Not that I don't care that I'm gonna break it, but to me, the way I look at it, it's already broken. So there you go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the print head, and you'll see how wet the towel is. You see, it's pretty wet. Oops, I got some on the. You can see it's really wet. Yeah, I didn't mean to get any of these buttons. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this cotton swabs, I'm just gonna soak up some of the solution that fell in there. And also try to pick up some of the ink that's in there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the printer back together, and I'm going to run a nozzle check. I'm gonna put this cartridge back in there. Again, make sure you use gloves because you know you'll get ink everywhere. And notice how the lines are kind of dry. Once I do the nozzle check, all that will go back in there. And if you're wondering why I got a piece of tape in there, it's because I lost one of those little plugs. I was working on the printer when the yellow went out, and I lost one of those little plugs, so I put a piece of tape on it. So let me put everything back together, guys, so I can run a nozzle check, and we can see if it worked. Okay, so as you can see, I put the printer back together, or whatever I took out, right? I did a nozzle check. Everything checked out all right, except my fingers. My fingers are all full of ink, but it's printing a lot better than what it was. So actually, it's printing very, very good. And you'll see the first print right now, because I haven't seen the yellow ink print in like, I want to say over a year. But then again, I don't use any colors. This is my printer that I use for positives, for this stuff right here. This is the only thing I use it for. And they have to be like super dark. These ones are dark enough, but again, I don't think you can see it on the video, but there's lines in it, like white lines. We can't do that. So as you can see, the printer is printing. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. So it's printing really good, except the yellow. But again, I don't care about the yellow because I never ever use the yellow. So I will still work on it a little more. So in the future, if I want to use the yellow, or if I want to print pictures, I mean, I have other printers, right, to do that. But in the future, if I wanted to print the yellow, then I'll take it apart and then clean the yellow so it'll print correctly. Because you'll see in a little bit, the yellow is not printing correctly. But again, that happened about 1.5 years ago, and ever since, it's like, I didn't care because I don't need the yellow. I only need it to print black. Right now, it's the magenta and the cyan are printing really good. The black is printing awesome. That's exactly what I want. But again, what I was gonna say, this is a very good alternative to taking the entire printhead out and cleaning it that way. That might be a better way to clean it like that, but if you don't have the time, or you don't have the know-how, or the what do you call it, mechanically inclined to take all those parts out, it's only 3 screws and a couple of clips that you only have to take out. Three screws and 2 clips. Very easy. But again, like I said, yellow not printing that good, but my black, my cyan, and my magenta are printing correctly. And I mean, I'm satisfied. Black is, it's like freaking dark right there. Look, see, like I said, the yellow is not printing correctly. But again, I don't care about the yellow. I care about my blacks. So that's it. That's a very good alternative to taking the entire printer apart, or the printhead apart, and cleaning it. That might be the better way. But if you don't have the time, you can do it like that. It took me, what, 30 minutes to clean it? No, it took a little longer than that. But printer's working. Again, I can print my positives and start doing my work. So thank you for watching, guys. If you want to see any more videos, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and ding the bell. All right, thank you, guys. I will catch you on the next one. God bless you, and bye-bye now. Goodbye.